Good morning, children. Welcome back to the lesson, the Browning version, written by Terence Rattigan. Dear children, we had already a session on this, and we discussed about the story. Uh, it is all about the boy, the 16-year-old boy Tableau, in conversation with his science teacher Frank, and he was given an extra work by Crocker Harris. Actually, Harris was a middle-aged teacher, and he was very strict, and he would never disclose the result before the stipulated time. And whereas other teachers are little lenient and liberal and would disclose the result in advance as well. Okay, and this boy talking with the science teacher, and the science teacher wanted to collect more details about Crocker Harris through the boy, because he was envious of that teacher because of his strict discipline. And slowly the boy Tableau tells about Crocker Harris, and even imitates Crocker Harris' throaty voice. Okay, and the young teacher Frank wanted the boy to repeat it, and later on he said it was not exactly like what the teacher's voice. Okay, there we stopped, it seems. Now we are at page number 53. So all of you take your page number 53. Yes, page number 53. Frank, look, what time did Mr. Crocker Harris tell you be there? Okay, next question from the teacher. What time he is supposed to be there? 6:30, sir. Tableau said, 6:30, sir. Frank, well, he is 10 minutes late. Why don't you cut? You could still play golf before lockup. Here, dear children, cut is a word given in the introduction. Cut here means go away. For example, cutting the class. Okay, and going to watch movie. So to go away, to cut the class means to go away. So here, see, anyway, the teacher is already 10 minutes late. Who noticed it? Frank. And in that place, you could have gone for playing golf. Actually, the boy was interested in playing, and the weather was also good. Okay, so he's persuading the boy to go for the play, or to break the discipline. Okay, Tableau, really shocked. Oh no, I couldn't cut the Crocker. So cutting the means go away from Crocker's class or Crocker's instruction. Mr. Crocker Harris, I shouldn't think it is ever been done in the whole time he has been here. God knows what would happen if I did. He would probably follow me home or something. The boy was quite obedient to Crocker Harris, even though his science teacher misguides him, instigates him. Okay. Frank, I must admit I envy him the effect he seems to have on you boys in the form. You all seem scared to death of him. What does he do? Beat you all or something? Say, the teacher is again instigating or persuading the boy, okay, telling that whether the teacher would eat them up or beat them up. Okay, so he's, and this word envy, he envies the teacher. Tableau, good Lord, no, he is not a sadist. Okay, you can write down the word meaning. Sadist means one who loves cruelty. Sadist, like one or two of others. He is not a sadist, man. Okay, Tableau said, I beg your pardon. Oh, I beg your pardon. I am sorry. Tableau, a sadist, sir, is someone who gets pleasure out of giving pain. So the meaning of sadist is explained here. Okay, children, sadist meaning is explained here. One who gets pleasure out of giving pain. That means one who loves cruelty. Indeed, but I think you went on to say that some other masters. Okay, anyway, you want to say that some other masters are sadists? Tableau, well, of course they are, sir. I won't mention names, but you know them as well as I do. I do not want to, the boy did not want to mention any of the names because even the teacher Frank well knew it. Of course, I know most masters think we boys don't understand a thing, but sir, you are different. You are young. Well, comparatively anyway, you are science. You must know what sadism is. Actually, the boy says there are teachers who are sadists, but Frank is not in that category. Okay, he is quite young. He is a science teacher. Now, Frank, after a pause, good Lord, what are our school coming to? Oh, Frank feels, oh, these are all things happening. Okay, tableau. Anyway, the crocker is sent a sadist, and I can that the boy can give only one assurance that the crocker Harris is not a sadist. That is what I am saying. He wouldn't be so frightening if he were, because at least it would show he had some feelings, but he hasn't. He is all shriveled up, twisted into folds. Write down. Shriveled up means twisted into folds or contracted. Contracted. If you keep something for sunlight, it will shrivel up. For example, a brinjal. If you keep in sunlight for few days, what will happen to brinjal? It will shrivel up. Contracted, twisted into folds. He is all shriveled up inside like a nut, because nut after keeping in sunlight, it will become shriveled up. And he seems to hate people to like him. It is funny that I don't know any other master who doesn't like being liked. Actually, he is not showing any love towards students, but at the same time he is strict, and that's why children love him. Okay, and don't know any boy who doesn't use that for his own purposes. Well, it is natural, but not with Crocker. You cannot play any trick with Crocker Harris. Frank, Mr. Crocker Harris. Crocker, the Croc is the short form of Crocker Harris. Tableau, Mr. Crocker Harris. Yes. The funny thing is that in spite of everything, I do rather like him. The boy knows the strictness of the teacher. In spite of that, he likes him. I can't help it. And sometimes I think he sees it, and that seems to shrivel him up even more. Okay. I am sure you are exaggerating. Frank is telling, no, you are talking much about the teacher. Exaggerating means too much highlighting too much. Okay, exaggerating. Exaggeration. A small thing you will express in a bigger way. If you find a small snake, you say a very big snake. It is an example of exaggeration. Okay. No, sir, I am not. Informed the other day he made one of his classical jokes. Of course, nobody laughed because nobody understood. Okay, myself included, means even I could not understand. Still, I knew he had meant it is as funny, so I laughed. So to support the teacher, he just laughed because he knew the teacher was about to mean some joke. Out of ordinary common politeness and feeling a bit sorry for him for having made a poor joke. Actually, it could not make children, other boys to laugh. Okay, so he laughed. And now I can remember what the joke was, but suppose I make it, now you laugh. Sir, Frank laughs. Even the boy doesn't remember that joke, but he laughs. Tableau. In a gentle, throaty voice. Tableau is now imitating the voice of his teacher. How the teacher reacted to his laugh. Tableau, you laughed at my little joke. I noticed. I must confess that I am pleased at the advance your Latin has made, since you so readily have understood what the rest of the form or the class did not. Perhaps now you would be good enough to explain it to them, so that they too can share your pleasure. See the condition. The teacher felt Tableau could understand the Latin language and he could digest the joke. Now he is asking, okay, since you understood it, please explain to the others. You see the condition of that boy. You can just imagine what would have happened to that boy. The door upright is pushed open and Millie Crocker Harris enters. Okay. Who is Millie Crocker Harris? Wife of Crocker Harris. Okay. She is a thin woman, very slim, thin woman in her late 30s, rather more smartly dressed than the general run of schoolmasters' wives. He is modestly and well dressed than the other schoolmasters' wives. She is wearing a cape and carries a shopping basket. She closes the door and then stands by the screen watching Tableau and Frank. It is a few seconds before they notice her. Actually, she has almost reached there with a basket. And who were in talk? Frank and Tableau. But now Tableau is afraid whether his imitating of the teacher could be heard by that lady. Frank, come along, Tableau. Move slowly above the desk. Do not be so selfish as to keep a good joke to yourself. Tell the others. He breaks off suddenly, noticing Millie. Oh Lord. Okay, you just tell the joke. Who said? Frank said. And he breaks off suddenly. Then he happened to see Millie, means wife of Crocker Harris. Frank turns quickly and seems infinitely relieved at seeing Millie. Okay. Tableau. Frank. Oh, hello. Style. Okay. Millie, that wife of Crocker Harris, without expression. Hello. She comes down to the sideboard and puts her basket on it. There was a sideboard and she kept the basket there. Tableau, moving up to left of Frank, whispering frantically, do you think she heard? Tableau has this doubt. What is the doubt? Whether that lady happened to hear what he imitated. Frank shakes his head comfortingly. No, maybe no. Millie takes after her cape and hangs it on the hall stand. I think she did. She was standing there quite a time. Actually, Frank said she might have heard because she was standing there for quite some time. Tableau, if she did and she tells him, there goes my remove. Oh, the child is now afraid. Suppose that lady happened to hear and the same thing is narrated to her husband, she would never get his result. Frank, nonsense. He crosses to the file. Hey, not that. Millie Crocker takes the basket from the sideboard, moves above the table and puts the basket on it. Actually, she takes that basket from the sideboard and keeps on the table. Millie to Tableau. Waiting for my husband? Oh, my child, are you waiting for my husband? Tableau, moving down left of the table. Yes, madam. Millie, he is at Bursar's and might be there quite a time. If I were you, I would go. Actually, he has her husband, Crocker Harris, has gone to the Bursar's. That is another family name, like Nehru's. Okay, Gaudas, we say, like Bursar's. He is there at the Bursar's. Okay, he would be spending time with them. If I were in your place, I would go. Who said? That wife of Crocker Harris said. But who is very obedient? Tableau is very obedient. Doubtfully, he said, most particularly, I was to come. But according to the child, the teacher would come. Millie, well, why don't you run away for a quarter of an hour and come back? So you could have gone, like his science teacher told him. She is also telling the boy to take a gap of quarter of an hour and come back. She unpacks something from the basket and she removes something from the basket. Tableau, supposing he gets here before me, then Tableau is asking, if I go and the teacher comes before his coming back? Millie said, oh, I will take the blame. Okay, I will, smiling. She is the wife. Okay, she said she could take the blame. She takes a prescription out of the basket. There is a small prescription. What is prescription? Like doctors writing the medicine. That can be a prescription. I tell you what, you can do a job for him. Take this prescription to the chemist and get it made up. Okay, you go to the medical shop and buy these medicines. The prescription is handed over to the boy. Tableau, all right, Mrs. Crocker Harris. He crosses towards the door upright. And with that prescription, who goes out now? Tableau goes out now. So that is the end of this lesson, dear children. So it is nothing but a few characters are highlighted, and especially Mr. Crocker Harris. So for the examination, you can expect a character sketch of Crocker Harris, or why Frank is envious about envious about Crocker Harris, and the character of Tableau, an obedient student. He could not be moved only by Crocker Harris' wife. That too, when she said that she could take the blame, the boy obeys her. Okay, so dear children, read it well. This is very small lesson, and you can write down the question answer, make a thorough reading, and before we conclude for the day, let us make an immediate recap. Okay, so today we started with page number 55, 53. Okay, 53, page number 53. The conversation continues between Frank and Tableau, and Tableau instigate him to cut the class. I mean, to go away and to play golf, but the boy was not ready, because the boy knows that Mr. Crocker Harris is very strict and would come to check his presence. And Frank said that the teacher could not beat you up, the teacher could not kill you. Okay, so, like that instigation was there, but he said no. Tableau said he was not a sadist, and there are many other sadists in the school, but Frank wanted to know whether he is one among them. For that, Tableau said no, that he was young and was comparatively good and a science teacher. Then Frank talks about Crocker Harris joke. One day Crocker Harris happened to cut a joke in the class, and nobody could understand, and nobody seemed laughing after listening to that joke from the teacher. But Tableau felt bad. He wanted to give company to the teacher. Out of ordinary common politeness, he laughed as if he understood the joke. But see his bitter experience, that Crocker Harris called Tableau and asked him to repeat the joke for the entire class. Okay, telling that he started understanding Latin. That was a bitter experience. By then, Crocker Harris' wife appears there, and Frank was so surprised. I mean, so baffled whether the dialogue could be heard by that lady. And Frank said sometime that would be possible, because she was standing there for quite some time. Okay, she was standing there for some time. Standing there for some time. But she came there only to have some help from this boy Tableau. She actually wanted to buy some medicine. A prescription was there in her hand that was kept in the basket, and she requests the boy to get it done. But the boy was hesitant, telling that in between, if his teacher comes, then Millie said that she would take the blame. With that condition, the boy was ready to go out to get the medicine purchased. Okay, dear children, that is the end of the story. I hope all of you understood. Now, make it a point that you write the word meanings and question answers. Thank you very much. Have a nice day ahead.